Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Straight Talk UFC preview shows. we got a great show lined up for you. Let me bring on my guests because we gotta kind of get through this, and we got a big fight card that we had to go through. But before I bring them on, I want to thank you guys for last night. Yesterday was supposed to be last night. Yesterday's show was tremendous. It's the first show that I've ever done being over here on this channel where people were actively in the chat asking for a part 2. So guess what? We are going to give you guys a part 2 because that conversation was tremendous. I mean, when you got Yanga, who's supposed to be preparing for a debate, coming over here asking for a part 2, you know that show was special. And I can't thank those ladies enough. Can't thank Dr. Mia enough. Can't thank Michael enough. You know, Shaka, Bridget came over. It was awesome, man. Solar Mind came over. It was tremendous. That show was scheduled for 90 minutes. It went almost 3 hours. It was tremendous. And I thank you guys for it. So let's get right into it. Let me bring my panel guests up. What's up, fellas?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Happy fight day.
Happy fight day. All right. Today we are going to be previewing UFC 287 Adesanya versus, how you say his name? Pereira?
Yeah,
Pereira. All right. So I'm gonna try something different. So first of all, before I get that set up, Zay, I know you going to be the giddy one on the panel today. You were actually at the weigh-ins last night, so tell me how that went.
Man, it was awesome. It was a hell of a lot of people that showed up. I bumped into a couple of fighters, got a chance to meet and take a picture with Justin Gaethje, and the building was electric. It's gonna be a hell of a vibe today. Hell of a vibe.
What time does the card start?
The doors open at 5, but they got a little fan experience beforehand. So we'll probably go out, try to be there around like maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay, so that's So you in a rush to? Yeah, you definitely in a
No,
rush
I'm
today.
not. I'm not in a rush. I just kind of got a lot of things going on, but I got time. I got time.
So
A
the
little
fight.
30 minutes ain't knocked me off too much.
So the tonight's UFC event is taking place in our home state of Florida. Actually right in our backyard in Miami. So let me ask you this. Is this your first? This isn't your first UFC event.
No, this is like my fourth. My second
Okay.
UFC pay-per-view, but my fourth event total.
So I'll ask Bones this question because I don't think you'll be. Honestly. I mean, I love you and everything, but I don't think you'll be unbiased if I ask you this. What's the better experience, WrestleMania or UFC?
Well, the WrestleMania experience was after COVID, so I can't really answer that question honestly. It wasn't like a full WrestleMania crowd, but it's hard to compare. I will say the UFC. I will say the UFC experience after COVID was better because it was like more live and it was more crunk. You know what I mean? But they had a full capacity though, and it was crazy.
I'll say this. I went to the WrestleMania. John Cena versus The Rock, The Undertaker versus the end of an era match, Undertaker
That was
versus
28.
Triple H. Yeah, I went to that one. And WrestleMania by far had way more people. So the atmosphere it's kind of different. Like that atmosphere was electric, especially like seeing a whole bunch of legends come out and whatnot, and just the superstar level. I feel like WWE has more superstars as far as like people that the fans identify with. But
Okay.
UFC is like a whole different vibe. I feel like if you're a hardcore fan, or I would say this though, they both tend to bring people together as far as like when you go to an event, it's like you and the people around you, it's like y'all become like best friends for like a
Yeah, for
couple
that one
hours.
night.
Yeah, for that one night.
And I'm glad you said that because I was wondering how it was with the fight cards because I've been to a bunch of wrestling shows and I see that all the time and I always bring it up how Bones made that, he made that comment on our WrestleMania preview show and go figure, the guy that was on the panel with us, Doug. I mean, I doubt Doug would have hung out with us in any other situation, but when it came to a wrestling show, but it's something about sports that just brings people together. Like we could forget for a moment, like, I really don't like the color of your skin, but because we root for the same team, team on the helmet, like I could rock with you for these 3 hours, and it's ridiculous. I almost think that some of the politicians should be people that run sports organizations. It might be a little bit better than what we got going on now, but I'll save that one for another day.
Hey, let me comment on that real quick. I feel like it kind of shows you that as long as you can find the common ground with a person, y'all could probably get along. You feel me? Regardless of their
Yep.
ethnicity.
Yeah, big facts. All right, before we get into the pre, so are we going to do early prelims or just prelims and main card?
Prelims and main card.
Prelims and main card. All right. So before I get into the video, I want to play another video here real quick. It's real short. So if you blink, you're gonna miss it. I got 2 more of those I'm going to be peppering in. So that was okay. So I heard the crowd chanting his name, and his name is Trevor. So go figure that somebody that violent would have the same name as me. I'm gonna play that one more time. I think that was it for that guy. After that, it's safe to say that, right?
It went downhill from there. That happened like 2 or 3 times in that fight.
So it's safe to say. So what is his real name? Like, what's his full name? What's his fighting name?
Trevor Snurple.
Trevor Snurple.
Trevor Snurple. Okay. Yeah, fans, he will be on the show coming up. I want to say our Bonner and Griffin show. So that's April. When is that? That's April 16th. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah. So next Sunday. Yeah, he will be on the show next Sunday. And I got 2 more clips that I want to play. Yeah, so he'll be on there. So all right, let me get this screen pulled up. This will be the first time I do this, so we'll see if this works right. Because I like typing up all those notes and stuff. It's a drag. So I want to go here. Can you guys see that?
It's low. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, because I can't. I mean, I be typing up these notes, man, trying to read from these damn notes, and then I got this big monitor in front of me now, so let's do it this way. So that's why I say if you guys wanted to go through the early prelims real quick, now we could do it because I could just scroll through the fights now.
Yeah, right. Let's do it like that. Just scroll through the fights and we'll say we'll go through it or we'll pass on it.
All right. So early prelims, you have a women's strawweight bout. Jacqueline Amorim versus Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is I'm assuming that's short for Samantha.
Yeah, they call it Sam Page. I'm assuming that too. They just say Sam Hughes.
Peace, Yanga. Pete. Hold on. Nah, Yanga. I got so many shows going on over here, so it seems like I'm going on a 24-hour broadcast, but I'm not. This is our UFC division of the Straight Talk Society. Just like how me and Venkat and Bones have the wrestling with reality. Well, Bones and his bigger brother Zay, we also have a UFC pre and post show over here. Exclusive content, baby. All right, so we want to go do this one.
We're gonna skip it.
All right, we're gonna.
I'll speak on it real quick. Jacqueline is making her UFC debut, but she's 6-0. Sam Hughes is not really a UFC veteran, 7-5. So I mean, they're both fairly new. So it's kind of unpredictable what's gonna happen. I've never really seen Jacqueline fight before, so.
All right. So in our next fight, we have a featherweight bout. Shailen, that guy, versus Steve Garcia.
Don't know much about Shailen. Steve Garcia getting knocked out every time I see him. So
yeah.
So he's a scrub.
Yeah, pretty much. 13-5, but I think once he got to the UFC is when he got like 4 of those losses back to back.
Again, though, I'm from the era where Dana would cut you if Dana would cut you if you went on a losing streak.
If he loses this fight, he getting cut. I'm pretty sure.
Probably, unless they're just going to use him to build people.
So there are jobbers in UFC then.
Somewhat. It's like they set up some fights where it's like you like one person is obviously getting the push. You get what I'm saying?
You don't want to say it. You don't. It's killing you to say that it's just like WWE. It's killing you to say it.
It's not just like WWE at all. Because it's like you can be a jobber and get an upset. You feel me?
Oh, you mean like the 1, 2, 3 kid?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But when the 1, 2, 3 kid won that, it's like everybody knew except us he was gonna win. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and in the fight game, all it takes is one good hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody's undefeated until you're not. Until you get hit. You know what I mean? All right, so we got in our next match we have a catchweight bout. So what does catchweight mean first of all?
That's when 2 fighters agree on the weight, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a lightweight fight with Ignacio Bahamondes versus Nicholas Mota. Mota pulled out. So Trey Ogden is a last-minute replacement, but he probably couldn't cut the 155 within the time, so they agreed that fight at probably a higher weight. It's probably gonna be 160 or something like that. 165, somewhere close to 55.
Who you guys got in that one?
I'm gonna go
I
with
got
Ignacio
Ignacio
just because,
Bahamondes.
yeah, because the other dude is a late replacement.
So does that ever work out good for the late replacement?
Sometimes they do, but for the most part, they don't.
Cowboy used to do it all the time. Cowboy.
Yeah. I do remember Donald Cerrone used to always seem like he would never be on the marquee, but he'd always be in the fight. I'm like, damn, this dude must be the greatest standby fighter in UFC history. Like he is legit always ready. All right, so the last match in the early prelims, I like this. They have the ranking. You have number 15 Cynthia Calvillo versus Lupi Godinez.
Calvillo versus Godinez. I still am a real big Cynthia Calvillo fan. She came into the game. She was discovered by Uriah Faber. She was one of the first females that Team Alpha Male. She has really good wrestling. Her striking never really caught up to her grappling though. Lupita Godinez, she's pretty powerful. And man, when you see her in person, she looks so swole. Like Cynthia Calvillo been on the skid. She's 9-5 right now. She came in. I think she was like 4-3, and now she's 9-5. She lost a couple in a row. They got one draw in there somewhere. Lupi Godinez is I think 8-3. So it's pretty much a good matchup. Anytime you see a fight with two people who got numbers by their name, you know, okay, like the rankings are at stake here.
All right. So what is it? Top 20, top 15? What is it?
Top 15.
It's top 15.
Top 15. All right. And that's one thing I will say I love about AEW. They do rankings. I think even if it's worked, who cares? Just throw a ranking beside somebody. Like there's no reason in WWE right now, Gunther shouldn't be like the number 3 ranked wrestler in the entire Fed. And you could back it up with he's never been beaten type shit. So it's like it just I hope that with this merger, which I still can't believe this is happening. And I heard that, you were there last night. So I heard that somebody asked Dana White a WWE question and he shot it down.
Yeah, that was Thursday. They asked him what the merger meant and whatnot, and he was like he couldn't talk about that right now, but he was excited. 2 big companies, but he wouldn't go in detail. He shot down a couple of questions.
So he wasn't shitting on it. He just didn't want to talk about it.
He wasn't shitting on it.
He just didn't
about
know
it at all. He had a big ass smile on his face though.
Because to me, Dana is a promoter, man, and I mean, what better promoter has there ever been in the world besides Vince McMahon? I mean, so why not get in bed with that guy? Like, I mean, it makes sense on the outside, but I just think it's going to be, as long as Vince has something to do with it, it's just going to be terrible going forward for both companies, man. As far as a product, production wise, it may be great, but product, ugh. You know what I'm interested to see? All right, the WWE got rid of the pay-per-view model, right? Mm-hmm.
And UFC still kind of has the pay-per-view model, but it's through a subscription service. But so I'm interested to see if they're gonna try to put both into one platform, like UFC Fight Pass and WWE Network, or if WWE gonna sign with ESPN, or if UFC is gonna leave ESPN, and what the pay-per-view models are gonna look like once the contract with ESPN is over. And once they're both free, I'm curious to see. Or they might even leave the platforms altogether and take both to like Amazon Prime or something.
So what I heard, because I've been listening to a lot of the business aspect. So WWE's Peacock deal isn't up until like 2026. So you can't. I mean, that's when
the Fight Pass deal is up too.
Okay. So they hope. So again, that shows you that they've been talking about this behind the scenes for years. This isn't something that just came up. How ironic is it that both subscription deals end at the same time. And they have been saying that is it possible that WWE would try to go back to a pay-per-view model? So here's the problem. I've been watching WWE Network and has been a paid subscriber to WWE Network since 2013, the day it came out. You're not going to get me to now go from paying $9.99 to now going to pay $60 for a show. Honestly, I would have paid $60 for last week's WrestleMania. It was that good. But the other shows they've been putting on
for each night.
No, well, then we got an issue, man. I can't justify paying $100+ to watch wrestling when I could, get like a VPN or something and watch it, watch it pirated.
I will say the WWE they take it easier on their fans' pockets. UFC trying to get every dollar up out you that they possibly can. You got UFC Fight Pass, which is the largest fight library, whatever, and then you got ESPN Plus that you need to order the pay-per-views. So it's like, off rip, just if you don't order no pay-per-views, that's $15 a month, down to $18 a month just for the subscription services, because they got two basically.
So wait a minute, you couldn't just order. I haven't had cable in like 5 years, so I don't know how it works anymore, but you can't just order traditional pay-per-view anymore where you like go on your cable company and hit order.
No, you gotta have ESPN Plus.
Oh,
you gotta do it in the US anyway.
So those pay-per-views that are $80 are actually like $95 because you got to pay the $15 to have the ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus is like $6, and then separately Fight Pass is like $10.
But you got to have both, right?
No, you got to have ESPN Plus to order the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Is where you can go back and watch Pride. You can go back and watch WEC, and
that's terrible.
Take it back to UFC 1 if you want to.
But they won't pay. But they won't give Francis Ngannou whatever he asked for. Like, come on, man.
Hey, but BKFC, they've been paying people the most right now, and even they say Francis asking for too much.
Yeah, I think Francis wants too much money, man, because ain't nobody trying to pay him what he asking for.
But I will say this too.
He's one of my favorite fighters too, so.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you always been a Francis fan. I'll say this though. I feel like UFC can't really justify. I always say the pay is what it is, and if you signed the contract, then you shouldn't complain because you knew what it was when you signed. But I feel like I learned throughout looking at this deal that they just merged that UFC was bought for $4 billion and now they're worth $9 billion, and that's in the span of like 4 years or 5 years or something like that. And so I feel like if you triple your money, you can't give fighters an increase. So it would be hard for me to be a fighter and you telling me you making an extra $8 billion, but I can't get some of that.
So Mike, just so you know, I can see the chat, but I can't put the comments on the screen because I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if Nene could do it. I don't know because the screen that I'm in right now, I can't see anything. But Michael says, I hate when people say people ask for too much. I believe that. Like, it's the whole Lamar Jackson thing. Like, I mean, Deshaun Watson ruined the deal that they gave him, ruined the quarterback market, but it's football. You guys are making hand over money, billions and billions of dollars, man. Get a man what he wants, and that's it. Or let him go. I mean, it's as simple as that. But it will get back to the card. But I love when we get in these talks. So you mentioned UFC being purchased for $4 billion. I remember that. Isn't that weird? Go ahead.
I want to bring up something too. Because they signed a Reebok deal, fighters can't have their own sponsors. Like how back in the day you had Venom and you had Affliction on fighter shorts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can't do that because of Reebok. So I think that's a big.
Well, it's Venom now. They scrapped Reebok for Venom, but now they have to wear Venom.
Yeah. Which I feel like they should be able to have their own sponsors, and
Do the fighters get any of that money?
Yeah, they get a percentage, but it's like, so they get a percentage. I feel like it's 10-15% every time they walk to the octagon and wear the uniform, and champions get more.
Huh. Yeah, because I remember, I'm like you, Bones. I remember like Affliction, like I told you, I still got a pair of Extreme Couture shorts. It was just, I mean, you had all that tap out, and and that used to be part of it, to watch the fighters come out in their Muscle Farm gear, and it was a promotion machine, and now it's just so blah. It's just they got that ugly belt, and then now they don't do the promotion right anymore. It's just,
hey, I love that belt now.
Yeah,
I used to hate it. I used to hate it, but I love it now, especially when you see the belt up close in person. They explain to you what everything stands for. It's like they got the flag of everybody that's ever been UFC champion. Then they keep the root. Every time you defend your belt, you get a ruby with the person who you beat name on it, and then you get 8 rubies. They're giving you another belt because you need another ruby.
All that stuff is good, but I do like the old belt because it reminded me of Big Gold.
Yeah, man, that old belt was so dope. Zay, you have that, don't you?
No, I took a picture with it, but it wasn't mine.
Okay, I thought you had. Because I'm like, man, that UFC belt. I used to love that old UFC belt, man. That thing was so badass. And then they got this ugly octagon thing. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all just, yeah, but that old belt was tremendous. All right. Oh no, one thing before we get back in the car, what I was gonna say. So UFC was sold for $4 billion. I think at the last time the Cowboys aren't even worth that much. Think about that. Like
that's crazy.
Like, think about that. The Dallas Cowboys, which is the most expensive franchise in the NFL, is not worth that much money. But so now they're saying that the estimated value is at 9.1 billion. No, 11 billion. So they're at 11 billion and WWE is at 9 billion. So here's the thing Brandon Thurston said is that those are numbers that they're throwing out. But once they go public, because they're going to be a publicly traded company with this TKO company, once they go public, then the market is going to determine what is worth. So like that 9 billion now could go to like 7. I don't think it would go that low, but so the 9 billion is, those are numbers that they're throwing out now to make it seem like, oh, this, look at that. Hey, I mean, shit. Once you get up to $1 billion, to me, a couple more ain't gonna make that much of a difference. But I'm just saying. But it's just ridiculous, man, the money that's coming out. And again, to Mike's point, when you're making that much money, you can't then turn around and tell your fighters that's actually the fighters are the goods of the product.
Right.
You could say UFC all you want. If you don't have a fighter, UFC ain't worth shit. WCW sold to Vince for $2 million because WCW didn't have a place to air the product. So you could value WCW at so much money, but if you don't have a place to air the product, if you don't have the goods that make up the product, so what? If all the wrestlers were to walk right now, what is WWE? A name. Nothing. Besides a name, nothing. Not a damn thing. All right. So let's get into the prelims. So you got in the heavyweight bout, we got Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman.
The killer gorilla, Chase Sherman. I'm going with him. Carl Williams, this is his second UFC fight. It was originally supposed to be Chris Barnett versus Chase Sherman. Barnett got pulled from the card. Carl Williams, late replacement. Second UFC fight is a tall task to fight Chase Sherman. He's a vet. This is his second stint in the UFC. Carl Williams is a big, swole dude. He's a wrestler. Dangerous in the first round, but after that, you can forget about it. Chase Sherman, he not really a grappler, but he got a hell of a chin, and he's just gonna sit there and trade with you until somebody collapses. So I see Chase Sherman surviving the early storm in the first round and probably getting the TKO in the second or third.
Chase Sherman, he is a vet, and this is Carl Williams. This is his second fight. His first fight in the UFC, he won by decision, but to me, he wasn't extremely impressive. He's a wrestler. He's going to keep shooting for the takedown. Um, but I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to pick Carl Williams to beat Chase Sherman here. I think he's going to probably take him down and just do some ground and pound and lay and pray for 3 rounds and win by decision.
You think he could do that for 3 rounds?
Yeah, because I don't think Chase Sherman. I don't think he's gonna be able to get up from the ground.
All right, and the experience is a big factor too. I feel like Carl Williams 8-1, Chase Sherman 16-11.
I know Chase on paper Chase Sherman should win the fight, but I'm gonna pick it upset. I'm gonna go with Carl Williams.
And I'm gonna say this too. Sometimes filling in a late replacement fighter sometimes can have an advantage if they've been training and they don't just train for fights, that they stay in camp, because your opponent was training for somebody else. So if you got a completely different style, then that can kind of catch them off guard.
I think that whole experience thing is overblown, because Anderson Silva was. Do we agree how he's one of the more experienced fighters? And his last couple of fights, he looked like shit.
Yeah, he was old though, and I will say this:
but he's experienced.
Sonnen tends to agree with what you just said, because he says fighting is the only sport that you don't get better with time by doing it. Like every time you leave a piece of yourself in there. So he's under the impression that the more you do it, the less you have in the tank.
I definitely could agree with that one. I mean, you learn not to lead with your face. That's experience will teach you that. You learn that, you learn countering techniques, but it doesn't make you better. It makes you learn different things to do. But if a guy is still bigger and stronger than me, 9 out of 10, he's gonna overpower me. I mean, it's the rules of nature.
I think with fighting, experience comes into factor. Like when you get dropped and you're trying to get back up and you got to dig deep. That's when experience really comes in the place.
I feel like I could see it in a way where it's like you learn how to be calm under certain situations and you don't panic. You think clearer throughout the fight. You don't let the crowd get to you as much. Like when you're making your UFC debut, oftentimes you'll see a fighter who got so much hype and they usually perform like this. But it's like you got to wonder, is it the bright lights that get to them, or is it the step up in competition? But a lot of fighters will drop their debut and then start to come on later on in their career. So I don't know. It's an interesting little argument.
All right. So in our next fight, we got a middleweight bout. Y'all go ahead and get that name.
Gerald Meerschaert versus Joe Pyfer.
All right. Both guys from the United States. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Gerald Meerschaert just because I'm a fan of him, and plus he's the kind of fighter that he either gonna get finished or he gonna finish somebody for the most part. He's gonna go out and he's gonna be an entertaining fighter, and he's gonna leave it all out in the cage. I like him to win by 2nd round submission.
Good pick. Gerald Meerschaert has not won a fight. The last time he won a fight without a finish was 2015. So if he win it, he finishing you. He's 35-15. Joe Pyfer 10-2. This is his 3rd UFC fight. Real big hype train. He finishes as well. All of his wins come by finish. So Gerald Meerschaert is the underdog, which is usually when he wins. Joe Pyfer, he's extremely aggressive striker. I can see Gerald Meerschaert weathering the early storm and getting the sub as well. But I will say this: if you were a betting person, just bet on the fight to be finished, because either way, it's not going all 3 rounds.
All right, and the women's straw. Hey, let me ask you a question. I mean, because again, I watch this, but I don't obviously you listen to you two guys breaking it down. This ain't my league. Catch me on Wrestling with Reality. What is a straw weight? What is that?
115.
115. So okay. So in the women's division, you have what? Straw, bantam, and light.
You got strawweight 115. You got oh man, it's a flyweight 125, yeah. And then bantamweight 135, and they got a featherweight 145, but it's not really an active division. Amanda Nunes sold a belt 35 and 45.
There's not so many 145 female fighters. It's mostly smaller fighters in the female divisions.
And so so there's no heavyweight women's division.
Nah, the heaviest weight they got is in the PFL. They got 155.
So what if a 200-pound woman wanted to fight in the UFC? Couldn't happen?
She had to go to Japan or Russia.
You see, I see where the next controversy is going to come from. All right, so we got so I mean, because okay, so you guys know about Clarissa Shields? You guys know who that is?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I've seen her in person.
Yeah, that's a put together woman. She can't be 100
when she fighting you know she do MMA too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when she fight in the PFL, she fight at 155.
Okay, because she looks like she's
it does on us.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's like you'll think that like, damn, that's a big chick, but it's like when you say 155, it's like, damn, that's really not that heavy.
Yeah, bro. I was working a boxing event, and I seen her in person, and she legit, she huge. Not like in a unmasculine way or whatever like that, but she just put together and she muscle. She got a lot of muscle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's a and black women just in general normally have that body structure, like those thicker black women. And I saw a couple of her fights, and I'm like, well, damn, this girl is a bigger girl. Like she's not.
Yeah.
But Holly Holm looked like she was on the bigger side. Like Holly Holm is put together also.
35.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
All right. So we got in this women's straw weight match, we have Michelle Waterson Gomez versus Luana Pinheiro. Yeah. Pinheiro. And Michelle is number 10 and Luana is ranked number 15. So it's a good 10-15 match.
All right. Waterson. Go ahead.
I would say Waterson, she came into the UFC with a lot of hype because she was an Invicta champion. But I feel like she's kind of a gatekeeper status now. You know, like I don't think she's ever gonna get to the championship, but at the same time, I feel like she's still talented enough to where she's gonna still be like in the top 5 or top 10 or whatever. So with that being said, I like her to win by decision in this fight.
I echo most of those sentiments. I feel like she added a lot to her game. She came in as just a striker. They call her a karate hottie. She was just punches and kicks in and out real fast. She's extremely short, but I don't know. I feel like she added to her game. She could grapple now, but it's like in adding to her game, it seems like she fell off. It's kind of weird. I can't really pick this fight either way. I don't really know too much about Pereira. I can tell you at the weigh-ins, Michelle Waterson looked ripped, like she was in really good shape. Pereira, she's a lot taller, 10-1. She definitely got the range, but I don't know. I feel like this can go either way. If I'm gonna get off the fence. If I had to pick, I'm gonna just go with Michelle Waterson just for namesake.
Okay, and that, as you said it, and I was wondering if that was the same person, that was the karate hottie, but that Gomez threw me off, so I'm assuming she got married. But I remember they used to always talk about the karate hottie. So that's her. All right, so in the last fight on the prelims, we have Chris Curtis, ranked number 14th in the middleweight division, against number 15 Kelvin Gastelum. Now, Kelvin, I've heard of him. Like he's a fighter that I've heard of.
Action man, Chris Curtis. This is a tough fight for me to pick. I feel like it can go either way, but Chris Curtis, he kind of got like a awkward kind of style, and he also is real good at rolling with punches, like when you get hit, whatever. Gaston, ever since the Adesanya fight, he never really been able to really reclaim that fire. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with Chris Curtis to win this fight. I feel like he got a brighter future basically in the UFC, and I'm gonna pick him to win by decision.
All right, Chris Curtis, Kelvin Gastelum. Chris Curtis 30-9, Gastelum 17-8. They call Chris Curtis the action man. He don't like to grapple. He's more of a standing trade. Don't really throw too many kicks. Extremely responsible defensively. Like he said, he can roll punches. He got good head movement. And he's a counter striker. Kelvin Gastelum, I feel like you said, after the Adesanya fight, he's never been the same. Like that war took a lot out of him. I feel like he can't make up his mind whether he want to be a middleweight or a welterweight. He got fast hands, but I feel like sometimes he don't throw enough volume. He's always there to be hit as well, keep his hands kind of low, but he seems impossible to finish. So, and he really needs this win. This is going to be kind of interesting to see if he can bounce back, because I'm pretty sure he's on a losing streak as well. Last time out against Jack Hermanson, he got submitted in like 18 seconds. It's kind of hard to go with Kelvin Gastelum considering his recent resume, so I'm going to just go with Chris Curtis, who, by the way, is a huge Randy Orton fan. So every time he come out, and he always do the hands up.
Hey, bro, let me ask you a question. You think Gastelum gonna try to use his grappling, or you think he's gonna just try to stand and strike with him?
I think he's gonna use his grappling, and the reason why I say that is because I would like to see him try to use it, but he left his gym and went to train with Cejudo. So he's in Vegas with John Jones, not Vegas, Arizona with John Jones and Henry Cejudo and all of them. So he might try to go back to his roots.
So one thing I'm starting to see on this as we go into the main card, and for those of you who are watching, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As you can see, I said it plenty of times, we got everything going on over here. We got something for everybody's taste buds over here at Straight Talk Society. Okay, so the first fight on the main card is a bantamweight bout between Raul Rosas Jr. and Christian Rodriguez. So here's what I noticed though. The first two fights that I see on the main card are from unranked fighters. There were 2 to 3 ranked fighters on the prelims. This is my thing. And I've always been this way. Everybody doesn't deserve to be on a WrestleMania card. Like why are we putting ranked guys on a lower card?
The reason they do this is because, if they just put no-name people on the prelims, nobody gonna want to watch the prelims. And because the prelims are what ranked fighters, you're gonna make sure at 8 o'clock I'm gonna be sitting in front of my TV to make sure I'm at the start of the prelims. But also the first 2 fights on the main card, Raul Rosas Jr., he's an up and coming fighter, and he's the youngest fighter in the UFC, and he's a fan favorite. So everybody want to see him fight. And the second fight, Kevin Holland and Santiago Ponzinibbio, bro, like that's gonna be a banger. Like both of those fighters are huge fan favorites, and we guarantee to see just throw hands and bang the whole time. So I'm okay with both of those fights not being ranked fighters because I'm excited for both of those fights because they got stories behind them.
And also, they usually try to put a showcase fight as that last prelim fight because they feel like they want that fight to get you to buy the pay-per-view. You feel me? So the last prelim fight is usually a fight that could be on the main card, but they try to make it something where it's like, oh, this should be a banger, and people who watch it for free, this is the last free fight. So hopefully this fight can convince them to go ahead and make that purchase.
All right, so you just answered my next question. So the $80 price tag is only for the main card.
Right.
Okay, I thought it covered the prelims also.
Nah.
Okay, so the money that you're spending is legit only for the main card. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I thought the prelims were. I mean, I knew the early prelims weren't going to be included, but I thought the prelims were on it because I was about to say, if I'm paying $80 for it, I'm just watching everything. So I wouldn't give a damn. I'm gonna watch it, so it wouldn't be like it wouldn't have to be a hard sell on me. But I get what you're saying. All right, so who you guys got in this match?
Well, that's a tough one. 7-0 versus 8-1. Raul Rosas Jr., the only fighter that's still in high school. Second UFC fight.
What?
Yeah, he's still in high school. He's 18 years old, still in high school, and he's also a UFC fighter. He won his first. He was on Contender Series. That's how he got the contract. He literally fought for the contract, and then everybody calling him the Wonder Kid, the Prodigy, like the second coming to BJ Penn when it comes to grappling and whatnot. He made his UFC debut against a vet and got him out of there in the first round via sub. Post-fight interview, he was like, Dana, let me get that bonus. I want to buy my mom a minivan so she could take me to and from practice. He's that young.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a huge favorite in this fight. I haven't seen enough of him to say that he's going to beat Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez, 8-1. He won 2 of his last 3. He got a loss in the middle. He's trained by Anthony Pettis and Sergio Pettis. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be strike heavy. So it's classic striker versus grappler. I'm going to go with Christian Rodriguez just because the kid got to prove it to me.
Nice. I'm going to go with Raul Rosas just because I'm going to roll with the hype train. I don't see him as being like a future, UFC champion. Not saying he can't be, because he's still young or whatever. But I feel like they're building him up pretty good. They're giving them, like not easy fights, but they're giving them winnable fights, but also competitive fights at the same time. I'm gonna pick him for a 3rd round submission, a rear naked choke.
And Trevor, this is what I was talking about when I say like the hype train. If the UFC had their way, Raul Rosas Jr. will win this fight. When we were at the weigh-ins yesterday, and he came out, it's like, oh man, you should have heard the crowd.
He got a big pump. He got a huge pump.
Like he already a champion or something. And Christian Rodriguez, man, like they booed the shit out of him. And, and you know what? I take that back. I'm not picking Christian Rodriguez because he missed weight. He missed weight by like 3 pounds. When they heard that, they booed him even worse.
Oh.
Yeah, but what does that mean in the grand scheme of things?
It could be an injury that wouldn't allow him to cut down. The body could have just said no, and which means that the weight cutting process was probably taxing on the body. That shit really bad for your kidneys and your liver and shit.
Hell yeah, you dehydrating the shit out of yourself.
All right, and now they can't get IVs to rehydrate. They're not allowed to use IVs, so.
But they won't pay him. They won't pay him what they want. It's just stupid. So basically, Raul is Cody Rhodes. That's what you're telling me. And he about to run into a big Mack truck. It's basically what you're saying. They're gonna Lex Luger this guy. Man, I can't with that. All right. So in the next match, we have a welterweight bout between Kevin Holland. I've heard of him against Santiago I know Bones said it earlier. Give me Ponzinibbio, which looks a whole hell of a lot like Ty Dillinger. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, damn, when the hell did the perfect? I'm like, when did the perfect 10 get into wrestling? I mean, in the UFC. So who you guys got in this one?
It's gonna be like I said before, it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a banger. I feel like both of them are gonna keep it standing.
Come on, bro. You know what's gonna happen. Stop it.
Yeah, I got Kevin Holland winning this fight by decision though. I feel like he's more clean with his strikes, and I just feel like right now he got more momentum basically. So I'm gonna pick Kevin Holland.
I mean, you say he got more momentum. He lost his last fight to Wonder Boy, where Santiago knocked out Morono on that same card. Santiago he lives in Miami, so he got that going for him. Even with that being said, though, like Kevin Holland got a way bigger pop than Ponzinibbio yesterday. Kevin Holland is the truth. Anybody, anytime, anywhere. Fighter of the year of 2021. Was that 20, 21, whatever COVID year it was? He fought 5 times that year. He always looking for a fight. I don't see why you said decision. I feel like Kevin Holland gonna sleep him because I feel like they both looking to strike. Santiago Ponzinibbio, that chin can be found. I feel like he's there to be hit. And Kevin Holland's strikes are just cleaner, crisper. I think he's faster, and he's gonna take less damage. And I just see him finishing Ponzinibbio. You got 23-9 versus 30-6, but that's going to be 30-7 after this fight. I got Kevin Holland by KO or TKO.
That'd be nice. He do need it.
And Kevin Holland and Jorge Masvidal got into it at the Fighter Hotel, and then they got into it again backstage at the weigh-ins. And that's another question that Dana White didn't want to answer when somebody asked Jorge what happened with Masvidal, and then they asked Jorge what happened with Kevin Holland, and he said nothing. He's just a little bitch. And then Dana White got mad and was like, "Hey, don't ask these guys questions about each other. They're not even fighting each other. Like, anybody else got any dumb shit to ask?"
So about how long do those weigh-ins go for?
The weigh-ins lasted about a good 30 minutes, all in all.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So is that part of your ticket, or you had to pay separate for that?
Nah, anybody can go to that. You don't even have to have a ticket to walk in. Okay,
those are just open to the public.
Right.
And this is the second time I heard you mention, because you're not, again, it's crazy the way you view wrestling. And I'm just realizing that you guys still could see us on the screen. I didn't even know that because I'm looking at my monitors. Damn, I could have been over here doing all type of shit. I didn't realize my camera's on. This is the second time I heard you mention this, and it's weird to listen to you how you view wrestling versus how you watch UFC. You talked about the pop that a guy gets, and it's like when I'll say things like, "Man, you see that crowd reaction? Man, this man should just be the odds-on favorite, i.e., Cody Rhodes." But to hear you mention back to back about a fighter getting a pop and that somehow means anything, like in the grand scheme of things.
It don't mean a goddamn thing, really. It's just I just felt like it was kind of crazy. I feel like in the scheme of UFC, like it kind of shows like it's weird. I thought it was crazy that Raul Rosas Jr. on his second fight is so popular. Like everybody crowning him like he's the next big thing when he only had one UFC fight. Yeah, he's 7-0, but only one of those were in the UFC. So it's like I thought that was weird.
It's because people want to see him succeed, basically.
And I think it's probably just because he's 18 years old. And as far as Kevin Holland, I thought it was strange that he had more fans in the other guy's hometown. You get what I'm saying?
All right.
It's like going to a Dolphins game and there's nothing but Steelers fans there.
Yeah, but
and then y'all still hold the L.
Since Thiago, he's a transplant, like Miami person. He's not native like Jorge is, so that's why.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
still, I mean, damn, like I just thought it would have been the other way around.
So here we have. I didn't know he was ranked so low. Here we have in the bantamweight bout Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. I never heard of any of these guys. So Rob is ranked number 6, and Adrian is ranked number 12. Who you guys got in this one?
I'm gonna go Adrian Yanez, but this is definitely gonna be the fight of the night. It's gonna be the fight of the night. I feel like it's how they say styles make fights. Adrian Yanez, he's a younger up and comer, real good at finding your chin. I feel like he start like a little slow, and the longer the fight goes, the more he just come on. 16-3, Rob Font 19-6. Rob Font been doing this for a minute. Veteran, really good boxing. Both guys gonna stand and trade. Rob Font, he gonna be there. Like it's gonna be hard to get him out of there. Adrian Yanez, it's gonna be hard to get him out of there too. And I feel like they both gonna bring it. Neither one of these guys are point fighters. I look for. It's kind of interesting because Yanez like to put pressure on people and just make them break. Whereas Rob Font is a good counter striker, and he also likes to put pressure too, though. But he'll throw like a 1-2. He keep his jab in your face, and then when you try to counter him, he counter you. So I feel like it's gonna be fun and interesting. They're both pretty aggressive, and I don't even see one takedown in this fight. I just see straight striking, and I'm not gonna go with a finish. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 3-round war with Adrian Yanez coming out on top. I just feel like he's the up and comer, and Rob Font is probably gonna take his second loss in a row.
All right, there's a lot of different stories to this fight. Number one, I feel like Rob Font, his last fight, he got thrashed by Cheeto, and it was real bad. I never seen that was the worst loss I ever seen on tape. So I feel like because of that, he left a piece of himself in the octagon big time. And so he's like not as good of a fighter as he was his last fight because of that. Also, Adrian Yanez, I feel like he's a future, maybe not champion, but he's definitely like a future top 5 contender. So I'm real high on Adrian Yanez, and I feel like he's gonna knock him out in probably round 2 or 3. Adrian Yanez, he only got uh, 4 losses, and they all by decision. He won his last 8 or 9 fights, and out of those, I think only 2 of those were by decision. So he's basically putting everybody to sleep. Um, so yeah, I got Yanez winning by second round TKO or KO.
Hey, that was a pretty brutal beating that Rob Font took his last fight. So you think that broke him?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
You think he'll never be the same after that?
Yeah, not saying he's not gonna be a good fighter, but I just feel like
Right.
Adrian Yanez is a ball saw. He can't. Like, this is a bad fight for him.
I wish you could. I wish we had the picture of Rob Font's face to show everybody after that last fight. He looked like when Martin got beat up by Tommy Hearns.
Yeah, it was one of those fights where I legit wanted the referee to stop the fight because I got tired of seeing him get beat on. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, he come out of that. Everybody in that gym pretty tough though. That New England cartel. Like look at
Yeah,
Calvin
Boston.
Kattar and Max Holloway.
Yeah,
Like that was pretty much the same thing. They say Holloway landed over 500 strikes to the face,
mm.
and he wouldn't get out of there. That was over 5 rounds though, so this is only 3. But yeah, that's the interesting fact you bring up. I didn't even look at it like that.
And it's
So
like
he might not.
out of all the Giannis fights, I think I seen like his all his UFC fights, which is 6 of them. Only one of them went to a decision, and I always see him knocking people out. And he rode calm too for him to be so young. Or just like his last fight,
Yeah,
either I think it was his last fight or a fight before last. His coach passed away right before the fight, and he was still able to keep his composure, and he finished in the fight.
Yeah, that was 2 fights ago.
Yeah.
So what fight was this? You say Rob Font got his face beat up?
Rob Font versus
Against
Cheeto Vera.
Marlon Cheeto Vera.
So what UFC was that at?
It was a fight night.
Oh, it was a fight night. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now in the co-main. Yeah, that's the co-main. So in the co-main event, we got number 5 ranked Gilbert Burns versus number 11 Jorge Masvidal. I have no idea who this Gilbert Burns fella is, but he's ranked number 5, so he's probably pretty good. I do know who Jorge Masvidal is. I watched him do all his backyard street fights earlier on YouTube, so I know him from. That's really where I know him from, is all of his street fights. So who you got? Who you guys got in this fight?
Oh, this is a very, very, very tough fight. Obviously, Masvidal is the hometown person. I don't think he's. I think Gilbert is favorite. Is favorite in this fight, but
He's favored drastically.
Yeah, look at those odds.
I can't
Yeah,
really say from this
holy crap. He's so Gilbert is minus 490.
Okay.
And Jorge is plus 390. That's 100-point swing.
Oof.
Like that.
Man.
No, what I'm talking about, 100-point swing. That's almost double.
Yeah, you gotta bet 490 to win 100.
Yeah. Wow. And 100 will get you 390 with wow.
Right. Which is why I put
Holy
my money on
crap.
it. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you do your thing, bro.
Masvidal. All right, I was there in Jacksonville when Kamaru put him to sleep, and man, that hurt me. But ever since that fight, I feel like I know, but everybody in the crowd was stunned. But all right, he got knocked out that fight, and then he fought Colby Covington in that fight and lost by decision. That fight I don't really hold too much against him because Colby is a grappler, and it was just a bad matchup for him. This fight is an even worse matchup for him because Gilbert is an amazing grappler and submission artist, and he got some hands too. I hope, well, I shouldn't say I hope, but I don't think that Gilbert is going to fall in love with his hands too much and get too comfortable striking. I feel like he's going to mix it up and also use his grappling too. With that being said, I'm going to pick Gilbert and win by decision. I feel like Jorge going to drop him at least once, but I feel like Gilbert going to be able to control the grappling and control the pace of the fight and keep his distance a little bit. So I'm picking Gilbert by decision.
Hold on, because I want to get back to these odds. This is ridiculous. So the only reason Masvidal is on this card is because where it is.
Yeah, and Gilbert called him out too. Called him out.
But mainly because where it is, because if this was in Ohio, this wouldn't be the match.
Probably not. But it's weird. It's weird because his last fight was against somebody else who's also from down here, and that was like somewhere else, and they did it on 3-5, like March 5th, 305 day.
Oh,
they had him fight somebody else that lives in Miami, and it was like, I don't know what the hell it is. I felt like that would have been the perfect fight card to put here because it was on 305, and they were both from the 305.
That one.
Yeah, that was like a promotional fuck up in my opinion, but I feel like in this fight right here, it's a lot going on. Let me see. Masvidal lost 3 in a row. That second loss in Jacksonville, we was in the building for that one. He got knocked out by Usman. Nobody saw that coming. I think I was frozen for like a good 30, 45 seconds after that happened.
More like 2 minutes.
But Gilbert, he got power. He's a very well-rounded fighter, submission specialist. I think he excels in jiu-jitsu. Everybody know Jorge is a striker. That being said, I don't think Gilbert's wrestling is that good. Once he gets you to the floor, then yeah, he could probably submit you. Jorge Masvidal, everybody's sleeping on his takedown defense. Kamaru couldn't really take him down. When he did, he got right back up. Covington couldn't really get him down. He had him against the cage, but when he did get down, he got right back up. Masvidal is very crafty. What I don't like about this is he already said if he loses, he's going to retire. So that makes me feel like he already got one foot out the door. He's been doing a lot during this fight camp. He put on his own boxing event, so he had to promote that. He's been on Joe Rogan. He came to the weigh-ins yesterday, had his kids with him, and I'm just wondering if it's too many distractions. But at the same time, when you look at that number, it's like there's no way in hell that he should be that big of an underdog.
That's what I'm saying.
Like there's no way in hell he should be that big of an underdog. I feel like everybody's sleeping on him. Hey, Gilbert told everybody because they were booing him yesterday. He live in Deerfield. He was telling everybody, hey, that's all right. Keep that same energy. I'm gonna kill your boy tomorrow. So it should be good. I'm going with Jorge though. I like Jorge to get the finish. I feel like he's gonna catch him with a TKO. I feel like Gilbert Burns, once he get hurt, he's not the same fighter. He kind of loses confidence, and I feel like he make a lot of mistakes. So I don't know. I'm going with Jorge. I feel like everybody's sleeping on Jorge.
Hey, bro,
I feel like he's most dangerous when his back is against the wall.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Jorge is most dangerous when his back is against the wall. Like nobody expected him to win that Askren fight, and if Gilbert gets kind of lazy and shoots him for a takedown and not set it up right, he can get caught with a knee or a kick or something easy. So I can see that.
Yeah, definitely, and Jorge, he also got that little court case going on with Kobe Covington. So he, like I say, a lot of distractions and whatnot. But yeah, I see Jorge pulling this one off.
Yeah, this
I hope my tickets take that he does. Because I damn sure put money on that.
This number is alarming. Like that's, and I don't even know who this Gilbert Burns guy is, but I'm just saying, like, you don't normally see the number skewed this much. Like it's never this bad, unless it was like a prime Ronda Rousey or Amanda Nunes against anybody. But you never see the numbers like this.
And shout out to the UFC for rarely seeing the numbers like that. But sometimes I wonder how much of it is actually the matchup versus Vegas trying to get action one way or the other. You feel me?
Yeah, Vegas could damn sure be trying to get action, and setting everybody up for the upset.
And Trevor Snurple trained at the same gym as Gilbert Burns.
So what are they? They just at the same gym, or are they like teammates?
I mean, when you at that gym, you teammates, like they got the same coaches, but at the same time, it's like I don't know how often they actually roll together and whatnot.
What are they, a top team?
Nah, they had Hard Knocks 365.
Okay. Yeah, I just know American Top Team because again, like the era that I was really tough in the UFC, I was like all on American Top Team, man.
That's what Masvidal at.
Yeah, I love Top Team, man. I was always, trying to see what was going on there. Any last words on that fight, on that the Masvidal Burns?
Nah, that's pretty much it.
I got some last words. Whoever win this fight, I feel like should get the title shot, possibly against Leon Edwards, but it's not gonna happen though.
So you want a guy that just lost his last 3 fights to now get a title shot? That's what you're saying?
Well, only because if Masvidal and Edwards got beef, and then if Gilbert win, he definitely deserves a title shot. But there is somebody named Muhammad who also deserves a title shot too.
And who's the champion? That's Leon Edwards, you say?
Yeah. I'll say that I just can't even imagine like the intensity in the building when that fight is happening.
Yes, I could
I
imagine
might not
how
sleep for
good it's
another
gonna
2 days, y'all.
be. All right, so hold on before we get into the main event, oh man, I didn't realize we had so many people watching. Because again, you guys have to understand when I don't understand. Damn, look at all these comments. Shit. Because I don't know the whole StreamYard. Yeah, see, I got people asking me questions from Facebook and stuff. I don't even know. Freeman Sunday, I think is today at 8:00.
What's that?
No, they're asking what time the fight is. I'm just catching up on these. Because if you guys have to understand my setup. Whenever I'm sharing screens and doing all this other stuff, I'm not looking at the chat. So I didn't realize we had so many messages over here.
Hey, to Freeman Sunday, you said what channel showing the fight? It's going to be on ESPN Plus, and the pay-per-view is through ESPN Plus.
And here go Dr. Mia. Dr. Mia, the breakout star of yesterday's show, her and Bridget, that they now want Dr. Mia to join the debate league. She's talking about the one topic that she wouldn't be able to contribute to because she could contribute to every damn thing. But yes, bomb. There goes something I got you.
It's a psychological aspect to the fight game too.
There goes something I got you on, Doc. All right, so I'm hold on. Let me stop sharing this screen. And I didn't know that our video was that our faces were up the whole time. And I want to play one more video from Trevor. He finished him with a body. He finished him with a body kick.
Yeah.
He finished it with a spinning back kick. Yeah. And I could just imagine the amount of wind that was taken. See, Dr. Mia saying so brutal. What is it about this? Wait, what is it about? Is that loves it? Oh, I'm assuming she said, what is it about this that we love so much? Because we're men. It's the brutality.
And not just that, but fighting. It's just it's so simple and it's so
it's something that humans been doing since,
and it's primal. It's just primal. And it's no blame, it's full accountability. It's no team sport where it's like, I'm good, but my team sucks. If you win, that's on you. If you lose, that's on you. And people can talk all the talk before the fight, promote it, this, that, and the third, but the octagon tells the truth.
Yeah, I really when we're doing these shows where I gotta do all this sharing and stuff like that, because normally when we do the UFC shows, I have all these notes. I have all these notes already typed up and stuff. I don't want to do that because for the WrestleMania show, I had 32 pieces of paper in front of me reading off of it. But now that I know how to share my screen and stuff like that, I don't have to do that. You just put it up. And then you see I went to the UFC website and you got it right there. And we could just do it from there. So I can't really see what's going on in the chat. I got to do better with multitasking back and forth. The nature is to destroy and dominate. That's how it's always been, Doc. You know that. That's how it's always been. And the fact that the women are the most popular ones in that says a lot. All right, so let's get.
Can I say something? Like, speaking of the woman, it's like, me personally, I like my woman with some meat on their bones. So when I hear a woman weighing 115, 125, 135, I'm like, damn, like, she's skinny as fuck. Excuse the language. I know we're on YouTube, but when you see them, you be like, dang, like for 115, like you would not guess that was their weight. And I guess that go back to what you were saying with Clarissa Shields. It's like she looks like she weighs more than what she weighs, but it's like you see the 115ers and they're looking like they weigh like 135, 140. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those yeah, like the Clarissas and things like that. They just I mean, again though, black women just naturally kind of built different, but yeah, those women are built a little bit different. So all right, let me share my screen back, and then we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the main event. Yeah, I just wanted to check out the chat because again, I didn't know so many people were typing in the chat. I didn't know so many people were watching because I can't see it when I'm sharing this screen. So let me see. So we're gonna go back. All right, and now we have the main event. Do you guys
Oh
see it up
boy.
yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the main event, we have the champion Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya, who is the #1 ranked contender for the middleweight title. What you got on this?
Oh man.
Well,
Go ahead, bro.
Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, they have a long history. Israel Adesanya was a kickboxer, like 86-4. Two of those losses in kickboxing came to Alex Pereira. The first fight, Izzy was up on the scorecards. They felt like he got robbed. It was a close fight. The second fight, Izzy he was winning the whole fight and then got put to sleep nasty with a left hook. Okay, Izzy leaves kickboxing, comes to MMA, goes on a tear through the middleweight division, becomes middleweight champ, and looking unstoppable. He does an interview in 2020 saying that oh, Alex Pereira, yeah, he's gonna be that guy in pub 20 years from now. See me on TV saying, "Oh, I beat that guy one day. I beat that guy one day." And man, like, but he's a part of my story. I'm not a part of his. Whatever. Pereira saw that interview in 2020 and said, I take that as a challenge. Let me do MMA now." Goes to the UFC, finishes everybody he fights because he got devastating power. Comes up to fight Izzy. Izzy winning round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Almost finished him in round 1. Round 5 come out, and then you see Poatan and Poatan is Pereira. When he coming out of the corner, he's like, "Oh, I'm ready to die in here. I'm ready to die in here." 1 minute and 20 seconds later, he crowned a new champ because he got a finish. So that's 3 times in a row that he beat Izzy, twice in kickboxing, once in MMA. I feel like Adesanya has his own personal boogeyman in Alex Pereira. And they even say, like, damn, like, he just follows him around. Whatever he exceeds at, I'm going to go there and I'm going to knock you out. It's like, they made the joke. So if Izzy decided to retire and go be a cook and came to be the #1 chef, Alex Pereira would be like, "Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. Let me come out cook you." It's like, it's just crazy to me. Alex Pereira is huge. I feel like he could fight at heavyweight, especially seeing him in person. This is one of those fights where I think Pereira just might be Adesanya's kryptonite. But at the same time, I never seen Adesanya this motivated. I feel like this is a legacy fight. Pereira, quickest to ever get a UFC shot besides Brock Lesnar, which was all hype. But I feel like Pereira won 3 fights in the UFC before he got the title shot, strictly because of the story. And that's part of the thing that I don't like about UFC, how like it's no meritocracy sometimes. They just go off of popularity. That I hate that. And in the story, I feel like the story shouldn't outweigh the rankings. But yet here we are. And my mind is saying pick Pereira. I just feel like everything that Izzy does, he does just the same. Izzy has great footwork, great movement, kind of like an Anderson Silva, the way he slip and slide, duck and dodge. He's hard to hit. But with Poatan, all it takes is one. That man touching you got problems. I feel like Izzy gonna have to go to somewhat more of a wrestling style. He's gonna have to incorporate some grappling. But at the same time, he's not a grappler, so that might, if it's not successful, it might wear him out. I know Pereira trains with Glover Teixeira, and Glover Teixeira is a submission specialist, so who knows if he improved in the last fight. The last fight was in November, so I feel like it's a quick turnaround. Like I said, my mind says Pereira. I feel like Izzy got to switch it up, but at the same time, he can't go outside of himself. I just feel like the card is stacked against him. But with that being said, my heart's saying Izzy, so I'm gonna pick him anyway. I'm not going with mine on this.
So who you got? You got Pereira?
Nah, I got Adesanya. As much as I'm gonna go Adesanya. I feel like he got something to prove, and this is like it probably means more to him than it does to Pereira because this guy done beat him 3 times. I don't know. I think it's bigger than the belt right now. I think it's more so I just gotta slay my own personal demon.
So you basically just Cody Rhodes the guy. That's going to be the new thing. You're basically just Cody Rhodes the guy. So now he's fighting for legacy, the guy that he never beat, and this guy's always been a thorn in his side. So now he gets his chance at the championship. And what, man? You setting this guy for a
I mean, he gets his chance to get his belt back, but I feel like I don't know, man. I just feel like Izzy kind of is in a situation where he has to win this fight. I feel like if he loses this fight, I don't really know what's next for him. He might try to change weight classes or something because everybody else, he cleaned out the whole division already. He's beaten everybody. He beat Robert Whittaker twice. He beat Kelvin Gastelum. He beat everybody at the top of the division. He beat already. So I mean, and some of them he beat twice. So I feel like if he don't win this fight, even if you win it, I don't know what's next. But if you don't win this fight, then it's like, well, what can he really do next? He's not gonna get another title shot. He can't fight any other contenders because he already beat them all. I feel like if you're in the middleweight division, you're hoping that Adesanya loses this fight because now you can fight Pereira and possibly get a title shot since you couldn't take it off of Izzy. And I feel like it's a lot of other matchups in this division. It's weird because there's a lot of other matchups in this division where I feel like certain people will have a way better chance of beating Pereira than Adesanya would, but it's just the matchups. Like the matchups, they can't beat Adesanya, but they can probably beat Pereira.
And this is the guy that comes out to the Undertaker theme, right?
He did that one time. Every time it's something different,
though. Personally, I would have liked to see Izzy take some time off because he's been like a model employee for the UFC, and he, for the most part, he fight twice a year or something like that. He fight pretty consistently, and I feel like after getting knocked out, I would like to see him take a little bit more time off or whatever. But because he decided to take this fight, Pereira is his kryptonite. The only strength that I would say that Izzy has is maybe like the clinch work or the grappling, and that's not even a guarantee because, like you said, Pereira been working with Glover Teixeira. And my mind also would say that Pereira would finish Izzy, but my heart, I gotta go with Izzy because he needs to win this fight. Like if you don't win this fight, there's really nothing else for him to do. You know what I mean? He shouldn't. I'm not gonna say he should retire, but he's gonna fight Pereira again. He already lost to him. Well, it's gonna be 4 times, so he's gonna be kind of like mentally defeated, I think. So with that being said, I feel like Izzy, I got faith in him. And plus, not to admit, like my brother said, if it was 5 more seconds left in round 1 in that last fight, Pereira would have been finished because Izzy caught him with a nasty hook and stumbled him, and he was finna hit him again, but the bell sounded. So he pulled back, and that was it. And Pereira was wobbly going back to the corner. And even like when he sat on the stool, his eyes was kind of like wide-eyed. Like he was kind of daisy-eyed a little bit for like the first couple of seconds or whatever. And he was able to get his wits back. So Izzy came close to knocking him out in the first round last fight. So I feel like He gonna win, and it's gonna have to be by a knockout. He gonna have to knock him out to win. I don't think he can win by decision. So I'm gonna say
Hey, what
fourth
do you
round TKO.
what do you think Izzy can do different in this fight?
Avoid the leg kicks because them leg kicks really, really, really messed him up. Because remember, I think at the end of round two, his leg was already kind of messed up pretty bad.
Yeah, his
He switched
mobility was
stances. Yeah, and
yeah.
he was trying to hide it. But then in the fifth round, it was like one leg kick in particular, I think it was, that kind of like made him back up a little bit. And then for Adesanya, that's when he backed up against the cage and he caught him with that little flurry or whatever. So
Yeah, his movement was
I feel
definitely
like
compromised.
he gotta either.
Uh-oh, what happened?
You cut out.
Bones
No, I
always
was just
cut out.
saying that he gotta either
Oh,
take the leg kicks or find a way to avoid the leg kicks.
he always cut
I
out
feel
in the
like
middle of like a fire take.
yeah, right. I feel like avoiding those leg kicks would mean like keeping the. It's kind of hard to avoid leg kicks with someone who got the reach over you, unless you're just gonna check them. But
Yeah.
I don't know,
But
man. I feel like a part of me.
even if you check him after 4 or 5 rounds, that's going to take a toll on him because Pereira much bigger than him.
Right. And see, and the crazy part about it is his power carried through the fifth round.
Yep.
So it's like he's always dangerous. And I feel like Adesanya, in a way, it's way safer to point fight and just stick and move and stay from behind. But like that, you're giving this guy 5 rounds. Like you said, you got to
Exactly.
probably
Yeah.
try to get him out of there. Because every time you give him time, he come get you at the end. But at the same time, if you try to make it more of like a war and try to like bring the fight to him, it's
Ooh,
like
you don't want to do that.
you can't get touched. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Because
oh man,
that's the thing that surprised me too was I thought that if Pereira would have finished him last fight, it would have been in the first 2 rounds. But he still had that power in the fifth round. You know what I'm saying? And that's what shocked me.
hey, Alex Pereira is a scary dude, man. That's a scary dude.
Literally born and bred from the jungles of Brazil.
So I'm looking again, like, so I'm reading the chat on my phone and not realizing that the chat on my phone is only showing what's going on YouTube. So now I'm back into my main studio and I can see apparently more people are watching on Facebook than they are on YouTube right now. This is the thing with this. So you guys got to always make sure to share the videos because I have it going to the Straight Talk Society page. So I think you guys may have a conversation coming up with a good doctor. So because she psychoanalyzes everything. And so there's a comment that Mia, you could talk about the psychological aspect that they deal with in fighting. So like that would be, I would love to have that dynamic, like pull her out of her element and have her come on here and talk about that. That would be a really good,
Yeah,
go
because
ahead.
it's
I
certain
said
fighters.
that verbally when she said the one subject I can't contribute to. That's what I said. I was like, it's a psychological aspect to fighting that's very important. A lot of these fighters go see sports psychologists and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
for example, to take a fighter like Marlon Moraes, who's on the tear, beating everybody, and then he go into a championship fight. He loses one fight, and he hasn't won a fight since. He began finished literally every fight since. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not
six fights in a row.
Yeah,
He got finished.
Yeah, it's not that his talents have greatly diminished. It's not just all physical. It's more mental. You know, because he lost that fight, and it's in his head. You know what I mean?
I think it's
now the next fight, you're trying hard not to lose as opposed to trying to win.
Yeah, you're fighting not to lose.
Hey, this guy got TKO'd by leg kicks last week in the second round.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
And he trains down here, and I know people that train him and stuff like that, and they always tell me, oh, in the gym, he a lion in the gym, or he did this in the gym. So, in the gym, he can perform and stuff like that, but when it comes time to fight.
Yeah, I just think it that's the beauty of having like a real, a real doctor on here, a real therapist. Like she could fit in anywhere. So I don't know. Yeah,
Absolutely.
she could literally just break down any damn thing. So
Psychology has a
I would
place with
love that.
everything.
I would love that one day for her to come on when she's available and just talk about that aspect. Because again, like I say, I didn't see all these comments because I got it open on my phone and I didn't see all these comments. But now that I'm back in the studio, I'm like, holy shit! Like all these comments are from Facebook. They're from Facebook though, so that means the people are watching over on Facebook. That's why it's always important to if you guys are in a video, if you're doing a show over here, share it to your channel, share it to wherever you can share it to. Get your people engaged so they can find more about it. That means that way it'll bring them over here so it could stir up more conversation. So all right. So in let me stop sharing this. All right. So in closing though, like what are your overall thoughts? Like what are you looking forward to the most on this card? Like what do you think? What do you think is gonna have? Who do you think is gonna have the fight of the night? Who you think is gonna get knockout of the night? Like what do you think?
All right. Fight of the night. Yanez and Font. Yeah, if it's not that, it's gonna be Kevin Holland and Ponzinibbio, but I'm looking at Kevin Holland and Ponzinibbio for the knockout of the night. Kevin Holland via knockout, and then a submission of the night might go to Gerald Mearshart. He might submit Joe Piper. Overall, they might give out more bonuses. This card is looking like it's gonna be really good. I'm kind of upset. There was a fight that was scrapped from the card, Michael Chiesa versus the Leech, Li Jingliang. That fight was pulled. That would have had potential for a finish. But overall, man, it's gonna be a real good card. The atmosphere is gonna be sick. Looking forward to getting some of this good Spanish food in Miami and going down there and watching these fights in person. I kind of wanted to take notes, but I know that's not gonna happen.
Nah, yeah. Hey, that note taking shit is hard too, especially if you're live. That's gonna be hard to do.
And then I'd be feeling like the one, like in the fight, it's almost like the time you decide, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and let me send this text back. It's like all of a sudden you hear, oh, and you're like, damn, what I missed. So it's like, I don't know. But I'm real excited, and I might not have a voice tomorrow.
Well, so you guys, I mean, and if who hasn't figured it out by now, but Zay will be at the fight tonight. So that's why we're doing this so early. We haven't settled on the time that we're going to do the review show tomorrow, but you definitely need to be in the building for that review show because you're going to get it from the live aspect. He'd be the one that's there. Hopefully he'll take some video and send it to me.
Absolutely.
Not in portrait mode. It's in landscape mode because there was one video that I couldn't of Trevor that I couldn't upload because it started out in portrait, then it went to landscape, but it was like upside down, so it didn't crop the way. Yeah, it didn't crop the way it should have. So yeah, Bones, what you looking forward to on this fight? Who you think gonna get the bonuses?
I got Kevin Holland and Ponzinibbio getting a fight of the night. I got Yanez getting knockout of the night. I'm looking forward to seeing what Masvidal is going to do versus Gilbert Burns. I know that fight is going to be super intense, and I'm also looking forward to obviously seeing what Izzy going to do versus Pereira, just because of the storyline aspect. Like if Izzy lose, I don't know what he's going to do after this. I mean, he of course he might fight again, but it's like you can never fight again for the belt as long as Pereira got the belt because you already done lost to this man 4 times. You know, twice in kickbox and twice in MMA. And not to mention, like, you were the middleweight king, you know, one of the top pound for pound fighters. So, and this dude only been fighting. This is 7th fight, I think it is, or 8th fight total. So, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions answered. Is Jacqueline Aroem the UFC worthy? Is Steve Garcia gonna not get knocked out? Is Cynthia Calvillo gonna get back on the winning streak?
Raul Rosas Jr.
Raul Rosas Jr. Is he gonna live up to the hype? Is
Yeah.
Joe Piper gonna live up to the hype? Michelle Waterson, is she coming or going? They just re-signed her to an 8-fight contract, but is she gonna fight?
What surprised me? I didn't expect them to do that.
Yeah, me too. Is Kelvin Gastelum done, or does he still got some gas left in the tank? Can Israel Adesanya slay his demons? Is Masvidal, is this going to be his last fight? Is he going to put the gloves down in the ring? Is Adrian Yanez for real? Which I'm pretty sure he is. And Ponzinibbio, like, is his chin going to hold up? Which I don't think so.
I think he's gonna get dropped, but I don't think he's gonna get finished though.
Nah, I think it's a wrap. If you get dropped, he's gonna get subbed.
To Mark asking in the chat what time will the fight start in Canada. It's funny, whenever we do these shows, whether it be wrestling or UFC, we always get this question: what time the fight start? I have no idea. I mean, we're in Florida. I don't know what I don't know if you guys.
It depends on what time zone he in.
Yeah, I don't know what time zone Canada. I'm assuming Canada operates on like the New York time zone, so it would be what, 8 o'clock?
You got Central, Eastern, and West.
Start at 6. The 6 o'clock is when the early prelims start. The regular prelims start at 8. Main card at 10. So from 6 to 10, you got free fights. Some of them might be streaming on ESPN, but if not, then go to ESPN Plus. And damn, I feel like they should pay us for plugs, man.
Don't be plugging that shit. All you know, the only plug we make is be back here tomorrow on the Straight Talk Society as we break all this, as we review what seems to be a crazy fight card. What I did find interesting though, I asked you guys about the bonuses. I asked you guys about fight of the night, knockouts of the night. None of you mentioned the main event outside of wanting to see. Oh, somebody got in a windstorm. Unless the only thing you got Bones mentioned about the main event is that he wants to see can Izzy fight his demons and things like that. None of you, nobody.
Because the reason why I didn't pick that one, because I feel like they're both so high level, it's gonna be very competitive. It's gonna be a chess match. Like Izzy can't go out there looking for a knockout. He got to kind of let it happen, let it flow. You know what I mean? So that's why I said that.
So, yeah, but for a casual fan, that's not going to be like the entertaining bar burner. Like, anybody can watch this fight and be excited. I think it's going to be more technical. And if it does turn into a shoot 'em out, like if it turns into a shootout, just straight offense, then I feel like Izzy's chances of winning go down drastically because Pereira just got to touch you, man, and that's it.
So it's just like if anybody just asked me about this WrestleMania card that just passed. There's like 5 matches I'm going to send you to, but I'm going to tell you to watch that main event. I'm going to say everything you need is in that main event, and it's just funny. A lot of times in these UFC, the main event, Cody Roman. I just feel like a lot of times in these UFC cards, the main event doesn't really live up to the hype that they put behind it. You always got another match on the card that so much better than that. We've done 3 of these so far, and all of the bonuses were given to the undercards. Like the bonuses were never given to the main.
And that's one of the reasons why I tell people, like, all right, when you're watching boxing, if it's a boxing fight, everybody want to know what time the main event, because that's the only fight you want to see. But when it comes to MMA, it's like, what time the main fight start? But it's like, man, you're going to miss so much before that. But because it's like, you never know where the fight of the night going to come from. And people on the undercard bring it just like the people on the main card. So it's more exciting. That's probably why I can sit through like a whole show and be okay with it.
Yeah, you'd be okay with a 10-hour UFC card.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I can't. All right, well, let me before we close out, let me play. Hold on, let me see something. Okay. Let me play this last video, and we will have how you say his last name again? I'll get it eventually.
Snurple.
Trevor Snurple. We will have him on next Sunday. And just look for the premiere button on the channel as far as what time we're gonna have the review show tomorrow, because I have no idea. It all depends on these two guys. Like I say, Zay is actually going to the fight, so he's probably going to be done by the time he gets home, and but we definitely have to get it done tomorrow though, because I want that genuine reaction.
We can shoot for like 5 o'clock.
Now, how does that work for you, Bones?
Should be all right.
Wait, hold on. I know one of my EVPs is in the back. Let me know if that works for you, because Straight Talk Studios is not just Straight Talk Society. Teaching Queen Collective also does it. Okay, she says that works. Okay, yeah. So all right, tomorrow at 5.
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, that'll work. So you guys watch out for that tomorrow at 5, the UFC 287 review show. And let's check out this last video from Trevor. Not your host, but
Let's go.
Well,
let's go.
So, like I say, we will have that guy on the show next week. And here it is. Like I say, listen, I ain't gonna keep saying it, but I'm gonna say it just enough that here at the Straight Talk Society, you're gonna get it all. I'm just the man with the microphone. I mean, you got Pour Your Heart Out. You have this show. You have the wrestling shows. You have the shows with Dr. Mia and Michael. Like, I mean, this is a one-stop shop. I can't begin to thank you guys enough for last night's show. And this show is continuously getting traction. And we'll next week we're gonna be reviewing what I say is the greatest fight in UFC history, the fight that did save the company from going bankrupt. I will bring notes to prove that. Forrest Griffin versus Stephen Bonner. And we'll also have Trevor Snurple on the panel. So, hey, what else can I say? Please be sure to like the channel. You should already be subscribed to the channel, but like the videos, share the content, and spread the word, man. Get as a young channel, we're trying to build, but we're giving other people who regularly wouldn't get a voice to get their shit off. You listen to these two breakdown. I'm gonna say this, and I listen to you, John Pollock. I mentioned the other day, John Pollock is the best note taker in the combat sports that I've ever seen, and I kind of tried to pattern my note taking on the WrestleMania show last week off of how he does it. John Pollock is by far the best. You have your Ariel Hawani's, but these two guys got just as much knowledge. Like, you hear them break down the fights. A lot of times I just lay back. Like, I just sit back and I'm like, well, shit, I don't need to input anything. That's That's what you get. You get your new up and comers, and they come in and they learn how to do this thing. So that's what this is about. This channel is to get the guys that normally wouldn't have a voice, to get them out there. So that's all I got on that front. So fellas, I appreciate you guys coming through.
For sure, anytime.
Thanks for having us. And I appreciate the compliment as well. I don't claim to be an expert or nothing, but sometimes when I talk to people, it's like I don't realize. I don't know. I guess people rate me higher than I rate myself, and put it that way.
Yeah, y'all very passionate about this. I go back and I listen to the wrestling shows, and I'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have reacted to it. I'm like, damn, I really shouldn't have reacted that way. But I did. It's like, man. So sometimes I look back and I'm like, damn, bro, you serious? Like you let it bother you that much, but it is what it is.
We just trying to be as good as you and Venkat. That's all. Wait till football season starts, man. I'm gonna really blow a gasket. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my mind come football season, man. But again, I know Zay, you heading to Miami, so have fun with that one. Would it be possible for you to make the 29th?
What's the 29th
fight?
Where is it?
Gulfstream Park.
I got a debate on the 29th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a debate on the 15th and the 29th. Damn.
Busy man.
I don't know why I kept thinking the 26th.
Nah, that's AEW.
Okay, that's why that's in my mind. It's AEW. Yeah, damn. What time is it?
The fight? I can't remember. I gotta check the flyer again.
So we're doing a double header. So we're doing a double header debate. So I don't know if they had me in the first half of the double header or the second half. I'd have to see because if I'm in the first half, then that means it's probably about 3:00, and then I should be good. But normally they may want to put me in a later spot because I think the guy that's debating before me is from England, so they may need to give him the earlier. Yeah, they may need to give him the earlier time slot. But I'll let you know depending on how things shape up. Yeah, I definitely want to watch it. All right, so I think that's it, fellas.
All right, let's go easy.
All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of this Saturday. UFC 287, let's go!
All right.
Peace.
All right, later.
Well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it again. Another tremendous episode of our Straight Talk UFC 287 preview. Pereira versus Adesanya 2. Yeah, tomorrow at 5. I'll do the I'll do the preview after the fight, but definitely tomorrow at 5 we'll be doing the review. We'll be doing the post-show review, and Zay is actually going to be there, so it's going to be crazy because I always like to get review. I like to get the energy from somebody who was actually at something, and you get that raw emotion you get it on a different level than what we would get just watching it on TV. Like he's actually in the building. That's why I love being at WWE shows to just take in the fans, you know what I mean? So it's always a good thing. But yeah, we definitely got that. If you haven't done so already, please check out that show that we did yesterday. It was supposed to be last night, but we went early because pretty much everyone had the day off. So we did She Can't Wear That, where the show started out with Michael and Dr. Mia, and it turned into just one of the best conversations that's ever taken place on this panel. I mean, Commissioner Solermine came up, and Shaka came up, Bridget came up and damn near stole the show. Like everybody was just raving about her. That show was so good yesterday that it's the first show we've done where people have asked us to do a part 2. So we are going to check this
check the calendar and see when we could get that done. But we definitely want to do a part 2 of that. And I already got the title for it. It's entitled, She Still Can't Wear That. I wasn't convinced yesterday. She still can't wear it. So yeah, hey, listen, man, we just got so many things lined up. Like I said, I got a debate next Saturday lined up on Solar Vision Debate League at 8 p.m. Then I have one on the 29th. So for the next few weeks, you won't see me as active, but the ladies will Pour Your Heart Out. My wife's show, Pour Your Heart Out. They have a show coming up April 20th. Me and Venkat we aren't gonna do a Wrestling with Reality this week, just because I want to, use the time to put the final touches on my debate. And the following week is when I think we're going to be doing the Brock Lesnar. We're going to be doing a Brock Lesnar versus John Cena from Extreme Rules 2012 watch along, because the watch alongs were so popular. I never could understand how this works. Some wrestling videos over here get all these views, but then when you look on Facebook, they get like double the view. I never get it. I don't understand it, but I love it nevertheless, man. You guys continue to spread the word. You guys make a young man feel so happy. I have no name. I'm not an entertainer or anything like that. I have a podcast that I do, and that's about it. But the fact that you guys give me a couple hours a week to tune in and listen, it means the world to me. And I really feel like I was meant to be behind this microphone. And that's why I'm grateful for the YouTube platform, that I could put my lovely face out there so you guys could see, the man behind you guys can see the man behind the voice. But I just love it, man. And like I say, anybody welcome to come on the panel. You don't have to have your camera on, just have it on in the back so I can see who you are. Make sure you're not trying to do anything crazy. But is only upward from here. And I appreciate everybody that came along for the ride and that will continue to be along for the ride. So I think that's it for me. Everybody enjoy your Saturday. And yeah, enjoy. Oh, I just had a brain fart. Enjoy your Saturday and tune back in tomorrow as we review UFC 287 Pereira versus Adesanya. Until tomorrow, peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness!